Don't ask and ask and ask. Switch it to provide value, value, so that you have a better reason to stay on the forefront of people's minds. That's how you continue to follow up daily, weekly, monthly, whatever your pace is, and make sure that you're the person that someone thinks of. And we're back
with another episode of He Said, She Said.
So we're finally doing it. We're finally listening and reading books when we go to bed at night. How long did it take us to get back in that routine?
Oh, man. I have been asking all summer, but you know what? That is our time at our lake house to do different things. So now that we're back at our other home, I feel like it's so much easier to be in a routine here. But it's great. That's why we go to the lake house, is to get out of routine, mix up the energy. And I can honestly tell you, I have not felt this recharged since I can remember, for the last couple of years.
I'm feeling the same thing. Rubber band, totally pulled back, ready to slingshot.
And it's because we had that totally different routine.
Yeah, we need dichotomy. I wrote about that in my my weekly email that goes up. Anyhow, what I wanted to talk about was, now that we're reading when we go to bed, we started this book called When I Stop Talking, You'll Know I'm Dead. And it's the biography of Jerry Weintraub. Now, a lot of people probably don't know who this guy is, but he is one of the biggest legends in show business. One of the biggest legends in managing people like Elvis and I think the Beatles and a whole bunch of other individuals. And he really is one of those most influential figures ever. And there's two things that were his superpower that made him so rich and famous and helped him create so many stars. And that is, he said that he is a very persuasive man, and the power of persuasion is attached to never giving up. He said those two things are what made him. He said, I'm not well educated, I'm not fancy, I'm not this, I'm not extra talented. I'm just very persuasive, and I never, ever give up. He told this great story. This is what led us to it. We heard the story last night. How he wanted to take Elvis on tour. Now, he wasn't Elvis's manager. He was nothing. And he was 26 years old. He was in the beginning of his career, Jerry Weintraub was. So he had no business taking Elvis on tour. And Elvis was managed by, if any of you saw the movie, a guy named the Colonel. And so Jerry started calling the Colonel saying, hey, no one's taking Elvis on tour. Not in the way I want to do it. I want to take him on tour. When can we meet? And the guy's like, who are you? You're a nobody, right? That's what the Colonel said to Jerry. You're a nobody. You're a kid. If we ever took Elvis on tour, it wouldn't be with you. And so he went on to call the Colonel every day. Picture this. Pick up the phone and call this man who rejected you. A very brash, bold, jerky man too, who rejected you. Every single day for months. Hey, it's me, Jerry, again. I want to take Elvis on tour. Hey, it's me, Jerry, again. I want to take Elvis. And he said something really important because he ended up being the one that took Elvis on tour. That's the punchline. But there's a better punchline is this. He said, it wasn't that I knew I was going to convince the Colonel to let me take Elvis on tour. It was that if they ever decided to take him on tour, I know that I put myself in position to be the first guy he thought of because I was so relentless and obnoxious about it. And I was just like, wow, what a lesson. What does everybody want in their life that they're not being obnoxious and relentless about, and they're giving up, and that's the only way to get stopped. It's the only way to fail is by giving up. If you actually don't give up, if you actually reach down into that little piece of DNA that doesn't care what other people think, and you try again, 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 and you never stop, then you can never fail. It's that simple. It's simple, but massive.
I was just thinking while you were talking about how we've had a few people throughout our careers continue to reach out like, hey, if you ever have a position open up, or hey, if you ever need somebody for this, like, I'm your girl. And while I literally have not had anything coming up, soon I have something that I will need to fill.
And you got them in mind.
And I have them in mind, even though for the longest time I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have anything. And, maybe you could stop this for a little bit. But now that I'm in the position, guess who's coming to my mind?
Yeah.
The ones who were relentless about letting me know that they would love to be in a position of some sort. And the people who've only asked once, only twice, I don't remember them.
Yep.
So it's such a good lesson of whose mind are you staying in the forefront of? And you know what? I just don't see it anymore, Chris.
No.
I don't see a lot of people do this.
No.
I see people try once, try twice, try 3 times, try
3 times
5,
is rare.
and that's it.
Yep.
It's like, well, I tried. 5 is not trying.
No.
I was thinking about how much I emailed Oxygen magazine to try to get in the magazine and on the cover. And it was 4 years of every single month.
Being told you're not the right look, you're not the right fit.
4 years.
Like mean feedback.
4 years of every single month.
Yep.
I just stayed in touch
Yep.
and tried to offer value and would say, okay, well, what about, do you need a recipe? What type of content do you need? Not even asking, actually. I stopped asking after I learned the lesson of don't ask and provide value. And then I started to say, hey, I just came up with this recipe. Do you want it in your magazine?
I want to clarify what you meant there.
I can shoot the pictures.
There's a comma in there that I want to make sure people caught.
Yep.
Don't ask and ask and ask. Switch it to provide value, provide value, provide
Yes.
value, so that you have a better reason to stay on the forefront of people's minds.
Yes.
That's how you continue to follow up daily, weekly, monthly, whatever your pace is, and make sure that you're the person that someone thinks of when they're finally ready to buy or finally ready to hire or finally ready for that cover or finally right? Like,
yeah.
So much about sales in life or getting your way in life is not about changing someone's mind today. It's about being the first person on their mind tomorrow when they're finally ready for whatever you have to offer.
Yep.
Hey y'all, if you didn't know, Earn Your Happy is now a part of the Growth Day Podcast Network. This is so exciting to me because I have been looking for a really good home for the show for, I can't even tell you, years, literally. And now I've finally been able to come together and collaborate with other people who have incredible shows, and I want to share them with you. One of the shows is Motivation with Brendon Bouchard. And you guys, if you don't know about the beginning of my career, I literally started with Brendon Bouchard's work. It's how I launched one of my very first online courses and membership sites, was because he gives so much advice that you can integrate and implement immediately. And that's what you're going to get on the show. Not just motivation, but you're going to learn exactly how to get your stuff out in the world. And not just that, but Brendon runs in the most incredible group of humans who are really doing the thing out in the world that you want to be doing. So go check it out. Go subscribe to Motivation with Brendon Bouchard. I promise you, this is going to be one of those shows that no matter when you tune in, you're going to get value. Like, it's not one of those that you're like, God, I listened for 30 minutes and I didn't get what I wanted. Like, from the beginning, you're going to get something that changes your life or changes your business. So go check it out. Motivation with Brendon Bouchard. I know you're going to love it. I'm obsessed.
And I just want to add something that when you are deciding to switch to adding value, I think there's something really important in there that I have always added and seen people add where it feels really good and it feels like clean energy rather than like, why are they doing this? Do they want something? It's kind of like saying, I would love to help you with this, or here's what I can offer you, or here's some content you can use. No strings attached. I just want to stay in the front of your mind if something would ever come up.
Yep.
That's it. And saying something like that makes the person feel not like you're like, okay, now I need something from you. And so I think that there's this like graceful, beautiful dance that you'll figure out. You're not going to get it right all the time. Trust me, I've sent lots of emails that afterward I read something and learned something from someone later on a podcast and I'm like, oh, I could kick myself for writing it that way. But that's how you learn. Ask for feedback, but consistently try to stay in the forefront of people's minds.
I don't think people really realize, they only know about the covers. You got 11 covers of different fitness magazines, right? I don't think they realize it was 4 years of being turned down on a regular basis. Same thing with your book. Mm-hmm. When you went to get a book deal, how many publishers turned you down?
21.
21 publishers. Nope, you're not right. Nope, your audience isn't big enough. Nope, this is a stupid book.
Yeah, this is stupid. This has been done before. They didn't use the word stupid, but they essentially said that this is fluff content.
Yep.
And this has already been done. No one's interested.
And finally, number 22 gives you a massive book deal for a first-time author.
Yep.
Right.
which is still, that book is still continuing to sell. Yesterday, this is so exciting. So book was published May 2017. Yesterday, I just got an email that they want to translate my book to Czech.
Yep.
And that's super exciting because now I get another little book
another
deal.
advance and more royalties.
Yes, very exciting.
None of that would have happened if you gave up on publisher number 5 or publisher number 10 or publisher number 15 or publisher number 20 or even 21. If you would have given up there, none of this would be happening.
Mm-hmm.
So if we have any message for you, it hit me last night. Listen to this awesome book. And again, if you like biographies, like you have to like biographies to like this book. That's my favorite kind of book. Biographies of like really awesome people accomplish big things because then I learn through their journey. When I Stop Talking, You'll Know I'm Dead by Jerry Weintraub. That's the biography. But last night when he said that simple but profound thing, I'm like, oh my God, that's defined our life.
Mm-hmm.
That has defined our life. You cannot fail if you do not stop. It is up to you to step up to the plate and step up to the plate and step up to the plate, always tweaking and learning each time in between until you are finally in position to be the person that someone says yes to when that person needs what you have to offer, no matter what that might be. You follow that recipe, you'll never fail. It might take you longer than you think. It will take you longer. Everything in our life has taken us longer than we think. Oh God,
we're not where we want to be.
Everything. I want you guys to hear this.
Why is it taking so long?
I want you guys to hear this. Every single thing in our life takes longer than we expected it to take. It takes adjusting. It takes changing on the fly. It takes learning and tweaking. Everything in our life that you guys think is so easy or wow, they knocked out of the park, has taken us way longer than we thought it would. I mean, but we don't stop.
We're living our goals today of like 7 years ago.
Yep.
So let's just remember, like this was on my vision board 7 years ago, not 1 year, 7. So you have to remember it feels slow. It does. But that's why we have a great gratitude practice too, is because while we're building and while it feels slow, we also want to be so insanely grateful for what we have. And I just want you to remember, as you're asking, like most everybody will feel really annoying. I remember every time I emailed, I was like, well, I'm either one email away from them totally blocking me or a restraining order, or they think that this is like a girl who's just checking in and staying on their radar.
Either way, you win.
Either way, I ended up winning. Yep. And something else I want to share about that, like about the never quitting, is when I finally got the email back that they said, yes, come up, we're going to do a test cover shoot. It doesn't mean that you're going to get the cover. And so I flew myself up there. I paid for the plane ticket. I paid for the room. I paid for the clothes. They had some on set, but you have to bring a ton of your own. And did the whole shoot for the whole day, got really excited, had my hopes up. And right when my cover was about to come out, they let me know.
Hey, good news, we're doing a cover.
Good news, we're doing the cover. I was so excited. I cried. I was elated. I knew the month that it was coming out. They called me a few weeks before the magazine came out and said, oh, we're not going to run your cover, with no reason whatsoever why. And typically when they say they're not going to run your cover, it meant in the world of that particular magazine that you would never get another chance. Yep. And so instead of being completely devastated for the rest of my life,
or burning bridges,
or saying that I was so upset and going through whatever I went through, I gracefully said, thank you so much for the opportunity and the amazing day. And then I cried, obviously, on my own for about a week. And then I kept reaching out. Yep. And the next year, I went up again, shot a cover that finally came out and turned into, I think with that company, like 7 other covers, maybe 8.
Yep. It was incredible. So guys, if you take anything away from this, it's going to take you longer than you think, but you cannot fail if you do not give up. And that might be small, basic advice, but it's also the most important advice that you will probably ever let sink in and follow if you are destined to do great things.
We're so grateful for you, and we will see you next week.
Thanks for listening.
Hey all, I'm so excited to share with you, Earn Your Happy is now part of Growth Day Podcast Network. A bunch of us are coming together to bring more growth to the world and support shows and brands that we truly believe in. And one of my friends is also on the network, and I'd love for you to go subscribe to his show. You guys, Trent Shelton has the most incredible podcast. It's called Straight Up with Trent Shelton, and it's going to remind you that you are built for this. I have heard Trent speak in person multiple times. I've listened to his podcast a ton. He's coming on the show, and I literally cannot wait because this man just spits straight fire. It is like truth that goes to your core and makes you take action right away. If you want one of those podcasts that when you're just out on a walk, you can't help but want to start running and run through a wall in your life, this is the show to go listen to. So you guys, make sure that you go subscribe to the show, Straight Up with Trent Shelton. You're going to love it.
Hey, thanks for listening to the podcast. And I want to make sure that you have my phone number, and I'm not kidding. Did you know that I have a community text number? For real. My phone number is 310-496-8363. This goes directly to my phone. All you have to do is text the word daily to 310-496-8363. And I literally text you every single day, Monday through Friday. I actually just got done 30 seconds ago texting a bunch of people back, and I talk to you all of the time. You guys, people always ask me how I got my community text number and how it works. Well, all you have to do is you can just go to community.com and get your own. Community makes it easy to get a phone number that you can use to build your audience using text. People just text you at your number and they're added to your group. Then you can text them out audios, video links, anything you want. You guys, I text out happy birthday videos. I love to send podcast links, thoughts about life, book recommendations, different events that I'm doing in the local area. Texting gets me out of the noise of social media and directly into your hand. And now you can start texting your people too. Just go to community.com to get your phone number. They give you a 10-digit real phone number, not those weird short codes that look like spam, but it's more than a phone number. Your new number comes with an inbox for SMS and texting. This means you can actually manage your text list from your computer and an app on your phone. You can schedule text to send at certain times and to certain groups. You can even set up auto replies or let your assistant or customer service team answer your text messages via Community's awesome dashboard. Just go to community.com and ask for a free demo. They'll show you how it works and get you your number. It's time to start texting your audience versus just posting on social media. Everyone uses Community for that. So go check them out at community.com. I can tell you it's not just great for communicating with my audience, but Chris and I use Community and our texts to also sell out our launches. I'm telling you, you get such an incredible response because you really are creating a true, deep sense of community, and it's so intimate. It's freaking amazing. Go check it out at community.com.